Welcome to Center of Light, all my friends. Good to see you tonight. Tonight is Center of Light Balance. The Meek Explorers. Doing a few things differently. Getting in a tighter shot. I want to be in your grill as I want you to be in mine. Things are changing equally on both extremes. So it seems very apparent to me. Hello, Cal and Renanda. Hello, Sun Hugs. Jody. Cray, Jody. I love me some Joe. Kelly Bauman. Sun Hugs. Rena. And everyone else. Things are changing. I interact with people all the time. I'm outgoing. There's a strange, I wouldn't say foreboding. I feel a loneliness. I feel lonely. It's passing through, just like a cloud. I recognize it. It's not as dark as many years ago I would have made it out to be. It's just a feeling, loneliness. I'm very satisfied, happy with me, and doing what I do. But there's a feeling trying to distract me. That's not the right word because it's calling to me. And I'm going to pay attention to it. I'm going to give it the attention it is due. So that because of, I become anew by something that is yet again taking the time or the no time to say, you may not like me very much, but it's because I love you. I'm trying to show you something. I don't feel alone. I feel this loneliness. I'm around people all the time. So I'm going to give it my dime and say, what's up? What do you want? Center of Light Balance. The Meek Explorers. For those who are not aware, what's up, Robert? And if you are and you've been waiting, here's just a gentle reminder, shameless plug, I know. Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul bestseller. You can check that out now by, let me grab the link. I deserve to drop this link. My brother Link is going to be in the house soon, I'm assuming. I'm predicting. How's that? I don't mind being wrong. Jody says Scooby. And if you have purchased Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul and you've read it, now would be a fantastic time to go to Amazon.com and give me a review. Jody says, Ruby, Roo. So tonight is Center of Light Balance. Very soon, this fall, I'm going to put a team of teachers together. And any teachers out there might be interested that hears this presentation. Keith, I'm in. No money. Ain't about the money. 20 minutes of your time. I'm going to gather some spiritual innovators, probably 6. And we're going to do this fall, as we move into 21. Obviously, the title should be a symposium or an exposition, an exhibition where teachers come together and we say how one may find smoothness. Smooth criminal, you've been hit by. And these uncertain, changing times. So this fall, moving into 2021, what else should it be titled other than Fall into 21? Stay tuned for further details. Let me get to my bullet points. Soon, all of my presentations and interviews will either be on Facebook.com/Center of Light Radio. Just look up Center of Light Radio on YouTube, on Facebook. Like the page. Or it will be on YouTube.com/Center of Light Radio. Or get on YouTube and look up Center of Light Radio. It will be on my personal wall as well, but it will be shared. So from these two platforms, Center of Light Radio on Facebook and Center of Light Radio on YouTube will be the launching platforms. So if you would now, as soon as you can remember, or however you choose, or not, go to one of those two platforms and choose like and notify me when Keith goes live. Or my point is, when I share it to my personal wall, it may not notify you that I'm live. If you enjoy being a part of this communion, this coming together as people board the train. Fall into 21. Hang on to your britches. Coming this fall in prep for 2021. This gathering will consist, as I said, of 6 spiritual innovators. More details. I did read that and said that. Good. I am also looking for 5 people that I can send you 10 minutes of dialogue that I'm now creating for an audiobook for Homecoming, Spirit and Eyes Dialogue. I'm looking for the right character for this spirit voice. One is the father principle, which is low, Moses. The other's very, it's feminine in fact, but it's very otherworldly. And I'm also considering a mixture of the two. I have a 4th character in mind. So I would like 5 people to send me an inbox or say, Keith, I am in. Please let me know. Just requires 10 minutes of your listening time, and say which character or characters you like, or a marriage between those. You get the audiobook for free. How you like that? Perks. When I mentioned a little earlier that I've been feeling this lonely feeling, has any of you noticed? Hello, Nori Love, Charles Theos. Charles wanted me to sing I wanna rock with you all night, dance you into the sunlight. Hello, Megan. See Megan? Pamela? Nori Love again. Nori says she's in. Nori Love is going to be a part of the Fall into 21 team. God bless you, Nori. Thank you. All right, so accompanied by this lonely feeling for me, I'm seeing things out here from people I elbow with in the spiritual community. I don't take it personally. They're not doing anything wrong. It's not out of judgment. I know it's something I've created, hence that lonely feeling. I don't expect anyone to respond, but thank you, Nori, for responding. That's not what is in it for me. That aside, this is my experience, but have you noticed that people are very standoffish? Well, Keith, this has been happening forever. Oh, I get that. But now that we're getting into the organicness and the rawness of people being themselves, or the opportunity to be themselves, hence tonight's presentation, the Meek Explorer. Yes, it does require this kind of posture, but it doesn't require being lost in such introvertness that you lose your real, authentic, organic, raw, natural self. Spirituality should be released into its natural, raw, exotic state. People are scared to engage. That's my experience. I also see beautiful people engaging, but as a somewhat a large part of the whole, with the opportunity that we have, instead of truly moving into this window that says, now is the time to be your full self, full out, as Nori would say. Be yourself full out. What she's really saying, if I may, is be yourself full in and bring that out. Without a doubt, shout it to the world. People are just going further and further and further in. Not because they're going further in with a conscious intention to do so. They're losing reality. Everyone is losing this reality. That is not what I'm expressing anyway. They're losing the opportunity for reality, for greater reality, to move up with the principalities and the angels and the archangels on all angles, in every dimensional bandwidth, frequency, mode. I see it. It hurts. Maybe that's why I feel lonely. I live in the passion of compassion. I'm sure many of you do as well. Tonight's presentation is the Meek Explorers, Center of Light Balance. Always change the last word. Tonight it happens to be balance. Explorers explore for the sheer fun, but also the serious ones do it from wanting to exploring to glean information, to find something that puts them in a formation, information. You want to know what the missing link is? It's not a monkey. It's not some amoeba we're going to find under the ocean miles down, and we caught it in its transition process. That's not what the missing link is. The missing link is information. Being in a formation, you then link up to the whole chain, that which binds us together, and it's shackled at your heart. That's the gate to the meek. It's not the gate to the weak. People think that being meek is being weak. In subtlety is universal power. Every second, every minute, every hour. Meek. They shall inherit the earth. They. I'm part of that they. You're part of that they. But am I or you or we choosing to consciously take it up on its offer? There are greater words to proffer from the old paradigm. Being sold something, a dime. I'll take anything for a dime. Careful what you get for that's cheap. The quality will likely be the same. Freedom is free. It actually is. Likewise, because we live in duality, freedom will cost you everything. Because when you had it all, did you feel free? Until you renunciated it all. So it cost you something, didn't it? A beautiful something. That's becoming meek. Understanding that what we think is real is truly tongue-in-cheek of spirit. And it's only for those who hear it. And those begin to wear it on their sleeve, as a drape, as a shawl. Come one, come all. Are you finding yourself submissive in the way of humility? Opening the door for people. It will start off as, I'm going to try to be humble. I'm going to start opening the door for people. Good. It usually starts off that way. Until you realize when some old man or old woman looks you in the eyes via your heart, and they just give you this very simple, old, wise gesture of how brilliant you are to do such a noble thing. Then you will lose the guise of it being about this superficial layer of what you thought it was in the first place. But that superficial layer is quite beautiful and purposeful. You have to become the one that walks consciously forward on purpose. Being meek, being loving, being forgiving. Forgiveness is a son of a bitch. Can be. Charles and I were talking about that tonight. He gave me a phone call. Careful about forgiveness. Let me say that again. Forgiveness is great. It's a spiritual law that everyone has to ascend to mend themselves to become center of light balanced. The meek explorer you are, or are you? You have to go in and understand what forgiveness really is. It's a law that we all have to adhere to to lift. Now, when it comes to making apologies and saying you're sorry, this is another powerful sword that one should understand. Forgiveness has nothing whatsoever to do with saying to someone, my apologies. I'm not saying don't be cordial, don't be kind, and don't be nice and compassionate for something that you brought forth by walking on someone's metaphorical toes. But someone who did something stupid, forgiveness is about you. You don't have to go say, well, I forgive you for what you did. Because some people will take that sword. Be careful in whose hand you put a lightsaber for them to wield. They may think they got a leg up. And you may say, well, that's their business. But you are a warrior of light. You're not trying to spread chaos. You're trying to spread understanding. So use your intuition to stand under the knowledge that this person, though I forgive them, they are not truly worthy, deserving, and or nor responsible to wield this lightsaber of my saying to them, I forgive you. You can just do it in your quiet self. Be careful. Because it will create karma for you. Self-responsible one you are. When you say you are sorry to someone who does not deserve to carry the divine torch, you're bringing the experience back to you. And it will scorch. You'll find yourself in the same position. Some people will say, well, thank you so much for that. I needed to hear you say your apologies. Choose your non-battles wisely. It's good to see you. Center of Light Spiritual Technologies. It is a technology. Hello, Brandy. Charles says he wants in. Dig it. Carmen Shasha says people are divided. Joe Schruger. Yeah, Charles, there's so much strength in humility. I'm wondering where my comments are. Let me do a quickie, see if it works. Yes, Link, some people are not worthy of the power of light of forgiveness. They will turn around and abuse it. It is a powerful light. Imagine going around to people and saying, I forgive you. And they say, oh, can I borrow that for a minute? And then they're going around going, gonna take a short pause. Hello, Sue. Gonna be right back. Gonna do some reading from an interview, a blog interview I've done a few months ago for my bestseller campaign. Thank you to Gavin Lee Davies. This book is now bestseller. Charles, I don't know if you say you are in or you're in for me to send you the audio book sound bites so that you can be a part of that. If that's what you mean, say yes, or that's what I mean. That way I know directly you're answering my question. So I'm going to be right back. I'm looking for 5 people. First 5 that populates this feed. 10 minutes of your time just to fall into different dialects. A low voice, God as Father, Mother as feminine voice. I'm doing all the voices myself. And the feminine voice is very otherworldly. It's strange. It sounds like music. I'm actually using light language and channeling on all of it, but especially the Divine Mother aspect. And I'm also thinking of combining those two and allowing the scale go from the lowest of low to all this otherworldly stuff. And also, believe it or not, a 4th idea. Pamela says she's in. Charles says that's what you mean. Fantastic. All right, guys, I'm going to be right back. Give me a Lavender Soul song. Let's see what we're going to do by Lavender Soul. See what's happening in YouTube. Again, hello, Rena Love. Let's see what we're doing Lavender Soul-wise. This song is very powerful. In fact, it describes at least my intention to deliver You're right, Link. I will. This song represents my intention, my delivery for what I think, feel rather, Meek actually is. It's that soft, submissive, humble, my apologies, my forgiveness, releasing of ideologies, and how I live this my life. Meek. So what makes this song by Lavender Soul so special, at least for me, is not the music itself. The music would be considered the thoughts, the idolatry, that which we hear with the senses. And the music in and of itself is great. It's very easy. There's no effort in it. In fact, there is no time signature. There's no meter. There's no consistency. It just floats like a breath, like a feather on the breath of God. But the true language is in the empty space. There is more music in the empty space than there is in the music you will hear with your ears. So it will require you to listen, to use this as a river to your soul by using your heart to hear the empty space. Open up. I have no doubt you will be successful. See you in a minute.
I lift you up to your most high. Cherish the time when you walk by. I see you in my life for all time. I've touched your face 1,000 lifetimes. I know the way you talk in rhymes. The breath you take is part of mine. As you float before my eyes, you touch my hand, it makes me cry. Touch my hand, just to know you're there. Just to know you're there. So here we go again, like lessons with a friend. Another chance to let love in. And in another life, our eyes will meet one more time. I see you in my life for all time. As you float before my eyes, touch my hand, it makes me cry. Just to know you're there.
Good to see you. Very good to see you. I want to change the music. Let's see what we got to choose from. So as I said a little earlier, all my work is going to go to either YouTube or Facebook at Center of Light Radio versus my personal wall. Please choose to do that now. I want to change this music. Let's see what we have. Tonight is Center of Light Balance. The Meek Explorers. Hello, kitty. What is it to be meek? We always hear about the meek shall inherit the earth. Well, I want some of that cookie. I want some earth. I want to be here for a while. I want to be a part of the greatest party in the entire universe that ever has been. Ever. So if the meek describes that thing, I want to make sure that this guy understands what it actually is. I'm not saying you don't. I'm reading this for me. Definition of meek. Quiet. And I don't mean stop talking. It also means stop hearing, stop thinking, quiet, stop doing. Do you feel that? In that is everything, but it requires one to be meek to experience it. I know you understand. I can actually feel it in my consciousness. I can feel it in my spirit base that you understand that, without a doubt. And no matter who you are, there's no way. In fact, it's logical, Captain. There's no way you cannot understand that. You understand it. You may shy from it. Even the moment that you allowed yourself to be in it, even putting your toe in the water, you understood it. That is a seed being planted. Keith's next presentation is going to be God seeds planted at God speeds. He doesn't know that yet until just this moment. It requires being meek. It's that empty space you heard in that song. It's the decrescendo you just heard out of this one. And now the energy, the kundalini, begins to rise again as you move out of your trouble, turmoil, toil, or sometimes heavily you call sin. In such ideas, you will never win what you actually deserve. What do you deserve? You deserve to be quiet. You deserve liberation. Your greatest elation will come when you are meek, and you will inherit the earth. Wow. Meek, definition, quiet, gentle. Like a brand new baby sister. Pink, fuzzy, calm, warm, nurturing, mothering. Fragile, delicate. There's power in that. Boy, is that moving through me. Hello, Robert. And easily imposed upon. Don't take that out of context. It doesn't mean anything other than the message that is being delivered through the vibration of these words that brings it to your awareness. So you say, I understand. It's not about people violating you. It's about being easily imposed upon. Not being an introvert, but by allowing, just simply allowing things. I'm imposed upon. I allow people to impose their way around me so I can be a part of that experience so I can have the same in return. Submissive, allowing. Meekness is an attribute of human nature and behavior. It has been defined several ways. Righteous, humble, teachable, and patient under suffering. Long-suffering, willing to follow gospel teachings, an attribute of an attribute of a true disciple. A true disciple to be a meek explorer. I am willing to look under every rock if need be to find that thing that only brings me back to myself, insinuating I never needed to look under the rock in the first place, because when I look in myself, I find that I am the rock. That's solid. As one. Take it as one. It's meant. It belongs to you. It's your birthright. Wow. Definition of explorer: a person who explores an unfamiliar area. Even people who choose not the spiritual path, they're all exploring unfamiliar area. Hello, COVID-19 2020. We're all been thrown into unfamiliar territory. But a conscious meek explorer says, all right, so what do we have here? Let me see. Not only see, you must look. More important than seeing is looking. I'm looking. I'm using my God-given faculty of sight, vision, seeing, and looking to bring in myself information. Puts me in a form of formation. I'm in a formation. Definition: a person who explores unfamiliar area, an explorer. You talk, so now I'm going to move into that interview, blog interview I did a few months ago. Someone commented on it, so I read it again, and it so fits my presentation tonight, which is Center of Light Balance, the Meek Explorers. This is question and answer from the guy who interviewed me via blog. He says, Keith, in your book, you talk, or as a teacher, you talk about creating. Let me change the music. Hello, everyone. You are loved beyond measure. Dear Lord. Here we go. This is from that blog interview. Keith, you talk about creating a union with your sacred self. How can we do that? And oh my God. Keith, you talk about creating a union with your sacred self. How can we do that in a life when we get so busy with work, relationships, and our to-do list, let alone a constant barrage of news about negative events? That is, pandemic, racial injustice, economic fears, etc. And I say, great question. It basically comes down to what one wants in this dream we call life. I chose and still choose to be conscious of that which matters most. As we look out into the world and interact with it, things can become squirrely really quick if we are not aware of what is actually happening and who is behind it all. People are so used to living in the world of the external that those souls inside those bodies have forgotten not only the truth, but where to look for that truth. This way of living will put one into the abyss of self-delusion with no way out. Without a doubt, this is where we are. There is no more time. Spirit continues. Throughout the universe, humans are famous for being impervious to my love and will. From the toughness of your skin to the hardness of your hearts, from hiding behind false ideas generated by fear to your lack of perception brought about by ignorance, you are regarded as comfortably numb to the calamities you have created. Here are some important points to consider, everyone. Are you prepared to deal with the consequences of your ignorance? Are you ready to face the global catastrophes that can happen if the majority does nothing? Are you ready and willing to get to know God and to learn and abide by the spiritual laws that, make no mistake about it, are very much in force? People should not think that they must stop doing anything for themselves in order to do what they can to better the world. But they must understand that if they choose not to become involved with healing both themselves and the planet, The lives they are living will take a back seat to what is happening all around them. He asked me about family and relationships. I say, this garden must always be tended to lovingly. All members should remove any ego weeds that may still be trying to stifle the growth of the unit or the unity of the family. Everyone in the family should consider and learn how to till that fertile ground thoroughly so that being fully human can germinate. Then those seeds of love will grow God in all, and the tree of life branches out and flourishes, dropping even more seeds, as I mentioned earlier, planting God's seeds at God's speeds. This is all just happening in front of me. Then those seeds will grow God in all as the tree of life branches out and flourishes, dropping even more seeds of peace, love, and unity. When this is done by the masses, well, then it shouldn't be too hard to see the beautiful forest through the trees. He asked me about news and negative events. The world of noise, I say. There is no way to make sense of the senseless. The only way out of this place of pain, fear, death, and deceit is to go in. In is the way out. He asked me about pandemic, racial injustice, economic fears. I say the old world model is dying, if not dead already. So many beautiful souls are literally holding on for dear life to that which is already dead. Again, trying to grapple with the senseless using the five senses will never work. The times we're living in require use of the higher senses. Being the meek. This is the meek. If the meek is going to inherit the earth, and this is the greatest party in the universe that has ever happened, ever in the history of forever and never, then I want to understand what meek really means. This is what created this presentation for me tonight. This was my inspiration. This interview I did blog-wise a few months ago. But this particular paragraph. Again, trying to grapple with the senseless using the five senses will never work. The times we are living in require the use of the higher senses, being the meek explorer. Understanding, allowance, perspective, honest observation, and truth. Being soft, being meek. To be able to stay balanced or afloat or to cross the bridge to the soul. This is where the meek explorers of the world are headed. Those who choose not to be in the lifeboat as Michael rows it across the river, hallelujah, to the peaceful shore, sadly will perish. This is my segment about COVID-19. COVID-19, well, I will leave this right here. Too much deception. Something is killing people regardless of what we call it or whatever it is. When it comes to racial injustice, oh, there is justice. Even though it happens to look like the innocent are being harmed and killed by someone being hateful, I understand the question. I will get back to it shortly. Economic collapse. It's going to happen. The money system of today will dramatically change. The new currency will be that everyone make room for the abundance that belongs to everyone by birthright. The new wealth will be about the health and the balance of individuals, but as one humanity. Getting back to your question, not only about racial injustice, but all three of these concerns. Many will not like what will be laid out here. I understand, and it's okay. We must all remember that there is justice, divine justice. End of story. Takes the level of responsibility out of the box, doesn't it? There's always divine justice. We must all remember that there is justice, divine justice, from which there is no escape, exclamation point. Everyone who has chosen previous actions that led them to that led them to whatever events in their life. Karma follows everyone around like a shadow. Enter what we talked about earlier tonight, forgiveness. Another higher sense. Forgiveness is what lifts any and all out of those very deceptions that have always been and are being played on humanity. For it is designed not only to raise the innocent, but the guilty as well. One must cross that sacred bridge in order to ever understand how the universal machine turns. You see, the world is not this. You see, this world is not about this world. It's about the world to come. The one that is here now. In such forgiveness of others, and especially of one's self, the illusion, karma, or maya of this plane we call earth dissipates. As it just did in me, as I'm falling into greater degrees of glee and bliss. I'm not going to miss this one. The power I feel running through my being by that sudden drop. Wow. Moving forth. In closing, in this blog interview, he asked me about racial injustice, economic fear, and COVID-19. This is my caption about all three of them. My closing statement to this interview. One should always look inward, which is upward, which is forward, toward the greatest possibility. Then and only then will the world's citizens rise above the noise that entices all into a fight. This should be the drive of everyone. When this is achieved, there will be no more bickering with those loved ones, no more arguing about politics, no more counterpointing racism, no more fueling the fear of terrorism, and dear Lord, no more warring with the world. As I always say, one has to choose to get out of the fight. All of this engagement is one's own internal mind noise. It's noise. And it will require you to be meek. Myself, I seek every day within myself. Just being me. It's default. To be so meek that we are allowed into the new world. The new world is here already. Some do see it. I see it. I want to be in there a little more, just like many of us. Sometimes I want to cuss and fuss, and I do. And I use that forgiveness on myself. Do you? Hold yourself accountable. Count your blessings. And appreciate your value. It's doing the work. The light work. And I don't mean light work as in I'm a light worker. I also mean the work. That's not heavy, man. It's not heavy, man. It's light, dude. Just be light. Be gentle. Practice being meek. Open the door for people. Help someone. I'm not saying you don't. Take it to extreme levels. At first, it's going to seem like you're proving something to yourself. That's part of the journey. Prove something to yourself that you can do it. And then you prove to yourself how much you absolutely love it. And then you prove to yourself, I don't need any of that nonsense anymore. This is me by default now. You become noble. You become the meek. Seek, and ye shall find. Find it. Be right back. I'll go into vessel mode, maybe. At least that's what's prompting me. I still love this song to this day. I'll see you shortly.
to appear. There's a time to trust, and a time to love, and a time to know what you are. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate what you are. Perfect in every way. So it's up to you, a choice to make, to promise yourself you'll celebrate. There's a time to trust, and a time to love, and a time to know who you are. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate who you are. Perfect in every perfect in every So it's up to you, a plan to make, to promise yourself you'll celebrate. There's a time to love, and a time to trust, and a time to know you are loved. Time to know you are loved. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate what you are. It's time to celebrate who you are. It's time to celebrate that you are.
It's good to see you. I wish you well. I'm going to go inside. Boy, it jumps quick. There is no time finer than to be in the timeless spiritual diner to take in your nutrition. Use your intuition wisely. It's the only way you can use it. You can't abuse it. It's either there or not. It's always there, but are you there or not? The waters are beginning to move. Still, they are as well, but still they move. That's the Meek. That's the center point. That's the space, the sacred heart. Do you dare to be a Meek explorer and chart for that ground, that sacred holy ground? Is your trajectory in that direction? Do you use introspection to find yourself and a greater possibility of the Spirit? Do you hear it? It's oh so clear, my dear, is it not? It's quiet. If Spirit was to grab you and pull you out of your body or out of your experience for a moment, you would see how loud it is in the quiet, actually. But everything is of music, of sound, of joy, of possibility. Possibility has a sound. Did you know that? Did you know that? Possibility does have a sound. Can you hear it? Does that music resonate the tines of your soul? The tuning fork of your soul. Is that your soul purpose? SOLESOUL, soul? Are you on board that program? Are you doing everything you can to become Meek, Neo, to get out of all the programming you have swallowed outside of your spiritual diner? We tell you yet again, there is no time finer to be in the timeless spiritual diner, to take in your nutrition, but you must use your intuition. How do I do that? Fantastic question. I thought you would never ask. First, you have to want it. Second, doesn't really matter. You can express your want for that eye to open, hoping that you get everything that is being expressed lovingly to you in this moment. You invent it. There is no right way. You did say you want liberation. That's why you're here, correct? So there is no right way. How can you be free when you follow the religion of what someone else tells you to do to succeed in your endeavor? It will never be that way for you, so why be it in the first place? Why? You want to invent a crank? Invent a crank and turn the living shit out of it. You want to have a button? Begin to mash on it. Show your intention to spirit so that we may hear it. But we suggest that you make the connection to the I. Not only the I, but the I. Who is that I? The one that creates worlds and universes, that lives forever, that is moving your body, your chest cavity in and out as you breathe the breath of life. Who is that? But the I, you open it up, and intuition begins to flow like beautiful spring mountain water. Son or daughter, do you hear this plight, this message, this gift on this sacred night? Do you hear it? Shh. Use that intuition of yours. It will become default, second nature. Second nature, ironically, will bring you back not to your first nature, but your original nature. It's nature itself. Meek, or being it, is the gate. Don't be late. Be of service. It's the highest, quickest way to lift your vibration. Be of service. Find things to do for other people. And then you will naturally gravitate to those things that you love doing for other people. It does require work with the hands. Work with the hands is greater than prayer on the lips. You must begin to congeal, anchor this light, divine principle. Make it tangible on the earth plane. It's wonderful to pray and meditate, but the doing of it actually creates more of you in being. Your doing creates more being. Take that in the context that is being offered and delivered. You should have shivered by this message that moved through your spine. It's spiritual wine as you dine and take in your nutrition. It's intuition. Feel, be, know. And you will achieve that greater by doing and grow. Do things for other people. Always. In fact, make your life a priority for being of absolute service. Well, where will I find the time to take care of myself? Dear, when you are taking care of yourself, when you do what you love, which is infinite, love is infinite, time will find you. Otherwise, anything else will blind you to that which will hasten the arrival of the real you. What else can you possibly want? It's all transient. It will be burnt away in the fires of eternal worship. You want to become the meek? Worship yourself. Sounds blasphemous, doesn't it? How is following the rules working for you now? Have you tried all possibilities? Trying to get to the land of all possibilities, and you have to accept and understand and integrate that it's all possible. Is it possible, just simply possible, that when you worship yourself, opens up the floodgate to the Father and the Mother principle to sit in you? How else can it happen? You can never reach the absolute until you reach the finite, puny little self and understand it so that you can stand under something granite more than you ever thought possible. You are the gate. There is no other gate. It's you. You. Now that you sit lovingly inside of yourself with this delicious, heavy, light, obligatory responsibility, what are you going to do with that? Because whether you use it or not, it will always be in your pocket. And like a rocket, it will shoot off with whatever you choose it to be, conscious or unconscious. Conscious or unconscious. Think about those two things. Conscious. Unconscious. Huh? Now we share with you something else that is more powerful. What can be more powerful than understanding conscious or unconscious? What is that thing that is standing under or understanding the ideas that something can be only of this or of that? Who is that being, the one understanding the this and the that? That is true divine power. For what else can it be? It's the third component. It is the Trinity. It says, you've been choosing between these two opposites, hoping to make sense of the senseless. How is that working for you? Enter the Trinity. Neo. And the truth simply becomes at your disposal. What will you do with this power? It's present. And it wants your attention. Or it will get your attention. I did mention that. You're loved beyond measure.